3 months later, my mother showed up at my door with a suitcase. She said she had nowhere else to go. She expected me to take her in. She forgot I was no longer the daughter who fixed everything. Watch what happened when I finally said the word she never taught me. No. The knock came at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. I wasn't expecting anyone. I had just poured my first cup of coffee, the apartment still dim, the morning still mine. I opened the door, and there she was, my mother. Suitcase at her feet, eyes red but dry, coat buttoned wrong. She didn't say hello. She said, "I need to stay here." I didn't move. I didn't step aside. I just looked at her. "What happened?" I asked. She exhaled like the question was an insult. "Your father and I are separating. He's being unreasonable. I can't stay in that house right now." I waited. No apology for Christmas. No acknowledgement of the months of silence. Just a problem she expected me to solve. "Ryan has a guest room," I said. Her jaw tightened. "Ryan's place isn't suitable. You know that." I knew what she meant. Ryan's apartment was small. Ryan's girlfriend didn't like her. Ryan wouldn't cater to her the way I always had. "And you think mine is suitable?" I asked. She blinked. The question caught her off guard. She wasn't used to me asking questions. She was used to me opening doors. "Olivia," she said, her voice shifting to the tone she used when I was being difficult. "I'm your mother. I shouldn't have to explain why I need help." I felt something move in my chest. Not guilt, not obligation, just recognition. This was the pattern. This was always the pattern. She arrived with a crisis. I absorbed it. She recovered. I stayed depleted. And the cycle continued because I never interrupted it. Until now. "You told me I wasn't needed," I said. My voice was calm. "You told me Christmas was better without me. You told people I was dramatic, sensitive, sabotaging." She opened her mouth to interrupt. I kept going. "You didn't call to apologize. You didn't text to check in. 3 months of silence, and now you're here because you need something." Her face flickered. Not shame. Calculation. She was figuring out how to reframe this. "I was hurt too," she said. "You made me look bad in front of the whole family." "I stopped doing your work," I corrected. "That's not the same thing." She grabbed the handle of her suitcase like she was about to push past me. "I don't have time for this. Can I come in or not?" I thought about the girl I used to be, the one who would have stepped aside immediately, who would have made up the guest bed while swallowing her own feelings, who would have spent the next week walking on eggshells in her own home. That girl did her best. But she wasn't in charge anymore. "No," I said. The word landed like a door closing. My mother stared at me. "Excuse me?" "No," I repeated. "You can't stay here." Her eyes went wide, then narrow. "You're really going to turn your own mother away?" "I'm going to protect my peace," I said. "You told me that family doesn't mean anything when it's inconvenient. I learned." She laughed, sharp and hollow. "This is ridiculous. You're punishing me. I'm not punishing you. I'm just not rescuing you." I reached for the door. She grabbed my wrist. "Olivia, think about what you're doing." I looked at her hand on my arm. Then I looked at her face. "I have," I said. "For months. That's the difference between us. I think about what I do before I do it." I pulled my arm free gently, not with anger, just with finality. "There are hotels nearby," I said. "Ryan's number hasn't changed. You have options. I'm just not one of them anymore." I stepped back. She stood frozen, mouth open, words failing her for the first time I could remember. "Goodbye, Mum," I said. I closed the door. I locked it. I stood in my hallway, heart pounding, hands steady. My phone buzzed within minutes. "Ryan, Mum says you slammed the Mom says you said you're well, and you said your life." I typed back slowly. I said no. "She's crying in her car outside your building." I walked to the window. I didn't look down. That's her choice, I replied. She can drive somewhere else. Ryan didn't respond for a long time. When he did, it was short. I don't know how to handle this. I almost laughed. Welcome to my entire life, I thought. But I didn't type that. I typed something simpler. You'll figure it out. I believe in you. Then I put my phone on silent. I went back to my coffee. It was cold now. I made a fresh cup. The apartment was quiet, not empty, just mine. Over the next few days, the calls came. Aunts, cousins, grandma. Everyone had heard a version of the story. In my mother's version, I was cruel. I was heartless. I was ungrateful. I didn't argue. I didn't explain. I just said the same thing to everyone who asked. I set a boundary. She didn't like it. Some people understood. Some people didn't. I stopped needing everyone to understand. Grandma called last. Her voice was tired but steady. She's staying with me now, she said. She's not easy. I know, I replied. A pause, then, softer. I'm proud of you, Olivia. I didn't expect those words to hit so hard, but they did, because she knew. She had watched for years. She had seen me disappear into the role I never asked for. Thank you, I whispered. You were never the difficult one, she added. You were just the only one who saw clearly. After we hung up, I sat with that sentence for a long time. A week later, my mother sent a letter, not an email, a physical letter, handwritten, like she thought that would mean more. I opened it carefully. Olivia, I don't understand what happened to you. You used to be so giving, so warm. I don't know who you are anymore. I hope you realize one day that family is more important than pride. I hope you come back to us before it's too late. Mom, I read it twice. Then I folded it and placed it in a drawer. Not because I wanted to save it, because I wanted proof. Proof of how she saw me. Proof of what she thought love looked like. Giving without limits. Warmth without boundaries. A daughter who existed only to serve. That daughter was gone. I wasn't cold now. I wasn't heartless. I was just no longer available for one-sided sacrifice. I wrote a reply, short and clear. Mum, I haven't changed. I just stopped hiding. When you're ready to know me instead of use me, I'll be here, but not before. Olivia, I mailed it the next day. I didn't wait for a response. Spring came slowly. The days stretched longer. My apartment filled with light. I used to be too busy to notice. I started painting again. Small canvases at first. Colors I liked. Shapes that meant nothing to anyone but me. I had dinner with Grandma on Sundays. I texted Ryan when I felt like it. I let the relationships that wanted to grow do so on their own terms. My mother and I didn't speak, not because I hated her, because I had nothing left to say that she was ready to hear. One night, I sat on my couch in the quiet. No TV, no phone, just stillness. I thought about the girl who used to answer every call, who used to fix every problem, who believed that being needed was the same as being loved. She wasn't weak. She was surviving. But I wasn't just surviving anymore. I was living. Boundaries didn't make me cruel. They made me real. I didn't lose my family. I just stopped losing myself to keep them comfortable. And that was the difference. If this story felt familiar, if you've ever been the one who carried everything until you broke, know this. You're allowed to put it down. You're allowed to say no. You're allowed to exist without earning your place. You are not too much. You are just giving to people who never learned to hold anything themselves. If this resonated with you, like, share, and subscribe for more stories of quiet strength on Echoes of Life. The next story begins with a single question. What happens when the person who ghosted you comes back asking for forgiveness?